Thanks, Bill. It's alright, because David Nichols doing double duty. He's got a panel tomorrow as well. Here we go. Yep. All right, let's welcome up to the stage, teal'c himself, Mr. Christopher Judge. And sir, you are shredded.
That does mean the same thing here that it means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look, I wasn't rubbing off on you. Is somebody else joining us? Oh! Did somebody else follow with us? Yeah, he's on his way. Watch your feet, watch your feet. Yeah! And ladies and gentlemen, Richard Dean Anderson.
I'm drunk. I don't drink. There's a lawsuit, Matt, right over there.
Not New Zealand.
Not in New Zealand. I thought I was in California. Sorry.
Or you can sue for anything. My soup is too hot. I'm suing you.
I want to look like you.
Aww.
We're doing a new film called Straight Outta Malibu. Irene Ebony.
I know it doesn't sound like it's that loud, does it? Right?
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear us too good? No?
Woo!
Gosh. Well, I don't know how things have been running so far, but I think it's a question and answer situation. Anybody want to do that?
Yes, there's a mic down here. If everybody wants to ask questions, come just line up and...
All right, go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, I was just wondering, what was, for each one of you guys, what was your absolute best?
Everybody's fallen down here.
Yes, it's happened a number of times.
Good God. All right, go ahead.
What was your absolute best episode out of all of your seasons, that each individual ones that you did for your characters? Did you have a favourite episode, and why?
Mine was the last one. Only because I got to go home and play with my daughter, so. Boys?
Mine was Shadow Hours, the episode Shadow Hours, when our characters were, my character was the first time he was off base, I guess you could say. So, I liked playing, like the scenes that we got to do when, like the first time I've ever had, what was it? What did you order in the bar? That was the some kind of soda, like a Sprite. What Sprite was? Ginger ale or something like that. It's like the first time. So I was like the first time I ever got to taste ginger ale. His character was just annoyed at me, like pretty much the whole episode.
Pretty much like in real life.
It's like
I think my favorite episode to watch, well, it's 2 episodes, was probably Heroes 1 and 2. I just think, we kind of, I think everything that the show was about, I think was encompassed in that episode. It was a funny episode, great battle scenes, and it was touching. So for me, it was Heroes 1 and 2.
Thank you.
Hi, Aaron from Greymouth. This is a question for Dean. I know it's not Stargate related, but what was MacGyver's full name?
Richard Dean.
Richard Dean MacGyver?
You don't know?
No.
Anybody else know? You're the only one that didn't know, pal. Read it up. Angus McTavish. Yes.
Hi, I'm Sharon from Christchurch. I just wanted to know, the three of you, did you just fall into acting, or was it a career that you always wanted to do?
For me, it was kind of, I wanted to do it since I was a child. I think I saw this movie Sounder. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember that, but I saw this movie Sounder, and I decided right then that's what I want to do.
What was it? What was the movie?
Sounder.
Hey, who's in it?
Kevin Hooks and Paul Winfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple of black guys.
Well, yeah. I saw I saw The Godfather. It just didn't have the same effect on me. I don't know.
Understood.
For me, when I saw the movie Goonies, that's what did it for me. Because I was around the same age as all of those actors when the film came out, and that's when I realized. My dad was the art director on Goonies as well, so I had some kind of connection to it, beyond just watching it, But yeah, that did it. I was like, I got to do that. That looks like heaven, and I didn't realize it was going to be such hell as well, but. There's a lot of heaven in it.
So nepotism then?
Yes,
Yeah.
A lot of it.
I forget how I got into it, because I'm older. I tell the story, most of you have probably heard it, about Hostess Twinkies and me. Anybody? No? Well, there's one. When I was a kid, my dad used to direct plays at a high school at which he taught. He was an English teacher, and speech and English and directed plays. So I'd sit through rehearsals of his. And one play they had, there was a part where this woman had to walk out with a birthday cake. It was all during rehearsal, with a birthday cake. And for the rehearsal, instead of an actual cake, they brought out a tray full of Hostess Twinkies. Do you know what Twinkies are? All right, then the story can go on. But it was just at that moment when I saw that, there was a job that I could pursue someday that would allow me free Twinkies. That's what I wanted to do. That's a true story about the seed being sown, but I was that high.
How old were you when you realized the Twinkies were disgusting, though?
Still haven't.
Still like them?
No, still piling them in, as you can all see.
Thank you and enjoy your stay.
Hello, Kit from Dallas, Texas.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So, I'm very sorry too. If you guys could be part of any other sci-fi series, what would you be part of?
Is Rip One hiring? That's a tough one. I don't know. I like Stargate so much better than any of the Star Trek series.
Obviously.
I just did personally. I just loved the idea of the fact that it kind of took place on Earth, and there's a lot of believability to it for me. But I also liked what was that one series that shot on the same lot as us? It was short-lived. Was it Firefly? But there was another series that was shooting on the same lot as us. There was a sci-fi show that didn't last. It didn't last very long, but it was great.
21 Jump Street?
Cool. No, not the Lou Perry one. But no, okay. But anyway, Firefly was really awesome too. I don't know if that was it or not, but I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know any other ones, to be honest with you. Star Wars. Just because they got a budget.
Okay, thank you.
Not very clever, was I?
Hello, my name is Tim, I'm from Russia, and I'd like to know which of the effects from Stargate do you like most?
The effects?
Yeah.
You know what I love about Russians? They sound really mad even when they're not.
No, I'm not. I am seriously from Russia, though.
I don't know what effects.
Come on, Stargate.
All right. One time we were in an elevator and the doors closed, and when they opened up, we were in a different place. What an effect it had on us. But really, they had to change everything outside while we were riding. No, I don't know. Anything in front of a green screen, we would rarely see until all the rendering was done for the effects. So there were some battles that I saw that took place that were pretty spectacular that I had no idea existed in the script because they were described, and I don't read descriptions, just dialogue.
Come on, you didn't even read the dialogue.
He knows me.
I think I liked the Zat, the one stun Zat thing. I had to do. Yeah, I had to do it just like I get hit by a Zat and it's the stun, but I was running when it happened, and so it was like and it just flopped down in the sand, and I thought that was kind of fun.
I think the one that kind of was the most fun was when you guys had the super speed. Remember that one? Super speed. What episode was that?
Prototype.
Wow.
You're scary, man.
Not much to do.
I know where you live.
Yeah, in Prototype.
Like that means anything to me.
Yes, with the wristbands, and it gave you guys like this incredible speed and da-da-da. Basically, you guys were like the Flash.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I get one of those? This is one where I honestly can't recall. Who's talking there? Oh. Okay, I'll trust you.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm American, but I live here in Christchurch. I'm excited to see all three of you. Especially Christopher. I miss your sort of rich voice that you had on the show. It was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I know you could have gone on to be like the host of a late night jazz station.
Oh, yeah. Right up there with Barry. Very white. My question for the three of you, I mean, SG1 has been around for a long, long time. And I'm imagine...
She just calls us old.
Hey, I'm old too, okay, so... but I imagine that your families kind of grew up with you doing the show. How did your kids or your families think about all of that? What did they think of the show? And Dad.
Well, I didn't have kids when I started the show, but I made one while I was doing it. She didn't have much of a thought process until a couple years later. But I do know she thoroughly enjoyed elements of, like, one of those rubber puppets. What was their names?
The Asgard?
Asgard. Oh, the rubber guy. No, what was his name? Thor. Thank you.
We It took years for Rick to realize that Asgard was 2 words. Was 1 word. I kind of told that backwards.
Unless you said Bear Asgard. My daughter used to walk. She used to crawl over the table. What's it? God, I can't remember anything. Where we would all meet.
The
Conference room table during downtime, and if Thor was around, she would just stare at him, just like touch his face, and then we'd need to clean her up. You guys can hear this stuff.
Mine was kind of cheaper because when my kids were small, and my kids have always grown up on sets, so when they were younger, you know, it was pretty cool. We were in Vancouver, and, you know, it was like your dad is teal'c. It was cool. Then when we went back, they went to high school in just north of LA, where, you know, their classmates and their teammates were like Wayne Gretzky's kid, and Joe Montana's kid, and Will Smith's kid. So it's like, your dad's who? Yeah, I was a lot more anonymous at that school than I was at their Canadian
Indeed.
Mine I've always been just kind of non-reactive about it. It's like not really a big. I mean, my daughter. I have found out recently, actually, that my daughter really loves what I do and thinks it's cool, but she just never told me. but I heard her telling somebody else. She was like, "Oh, I love what you do," you know, because someone was kind of like, you know, I was getting my balls busted a little bit by my ex-wife. So she jumped in on my behalf. But yeah, so that was nice. And my son kind of, he's 11, and he still kind of hasn't really sussed it out too much yet. He doesn't like. I mean, I have like, you know, the episodes of the show. Like, you know, they're at the house. I have the box set or whatever. He doesn't want to watch it. He's like, I don't care. All right, we'll just be 11. Just be 11.
Old television.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Laurie from Christchurch. I was just wondering, a couple of things. Who's the biggest prankster in the cast? And was an example of the best prank they pulled?
I don't know. I mean, I was season 6 was relatively prank free. I don't know.
No, you were kind of the prank.
I was the prank. Yeah, exactly. The joke was on me in season 7.
I honestly don't remember there being we went through this earlier this week. I don't remember like formal pranks being done. I didn't ever pull off like a George Clooney-esque, you know, planned thing. Our humor and the lightness kind of came at the moment and in the moment. Chris, however, told me that unbeknownst to me, a whole hell of a lot of pranking was taking place. So you tell us.
See, Rick was prank proof because, you know, there's that thin line between a prank being funny and a prank costing you your job.
Not a chance.
So I never really wanted to walk that line with Rick.
And I was so easy.
You know what? That's what we found out, but we didn't know that going in. You know, we didn't know like what a big kid Rick is going in. It took, you know, a couple, I want to say episodes, but it took a couple years to figure that out.
Say a couple of hours on set farting in your face would have done. Oh.
That was Rick and I's prank on everyone. The rampant farting.
Pardon our language.
Yes. That was a bond that we will always have.
Truly. Well, need we go into that story? Let's wait until we're asked about it directly.
Hi, I'm James. I'm from Rangiora, and I've got a couple of
From
things.
where?
Rangiora. Yeah. And 2 things.
Where is that?
Pretty much.
That helps. In the middle of nowhere. Like, is that? Oh, so it is. Okay.
Two things. Who do you think would win in a fight between Rodan or teal'c? And who's your favourite alien of all the series?
Now you do mean between the character Rodan and the character teal'c, not me and Momoa. Well, there would be two winners. Probably Rodan because he's bigger and stronger physically, but the real winner would be teal'c because he'd be smart enough to not fight Rodan. But my favorite alien from any series? Oh, and the Stargate series. My favorite alien?
Yeah.
Probably Tony Amendola. Probably Braytag. You know, I mean, yeah. He just had such grace and you know, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but you know, Braytag is my favorite.
Braytag.
They're getting the ring ready for us. Jason's on his way right now. He'll be here shortly.
Just wondered what that was for. Is there boxing taking place?
Okay. Oh, of course.
Haiku? I can't hear a word you're saying. That's all right. We'll make an announcement at the end of this confusion. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Christian from Christchurch. What's the most memorable thing that's ever happened to you guys on set?
I can't remember anything, so I'm going to have to pass off to these guys who have memories.
Oh, you know, the scene where we had the ship that was underwater. They built a whole section of the ship. I forget what the ships are called, but the spaceship section inside a giant swimming pool that lowered down on a hydraulic lift to make it look like it was filling up with water, and that was just amazing. I mean, the amount of time and effort they put into the production design on that show was just incredible. I mean, that's what made that show. My dad's a production designer. I'm really into that. That's a big part of it. Like, and I used to love going and just tripping out on the sets that they would build. And when we did the episode where we're in Antarctica, and they brought in all those air conditioners and made the entire set like 30 degrees, where it was like just so they could see our breath. I'm like, that is like, going through all of that effort just so it looks real. Because they didn't have to have the air conditioners; they could have just had it look like that. But it was damn cold, and it was fun. And it was a warm day in Vancouver that day finally, and we're working in 30-degree weather inside.
Your dad was the original production designer of Stargate, the movie, right?
No. He didn't Stargate the movie. No.
Oh, well then forget it. Wait, did your dad have a tie to some tie to?
No, he didn't have anything to do with the Stargate stuff. But I mean, he's done a ton of
big.
Yeah,
so while these two are getting to know each other, we'll take another.
So, as some of us may know, they're recreating the Stargate movie into a trilogy. What is your opinion of this?
What?
The original Stargate movie's been made into a trilogy.
It has?
It's about to be.
Oh.
What is your opinion on this?
Positive. What am I going to do? No, it's fine. I mean, as long as it tells a good story and it makes sense, and they don't use Kurt Russell, I think we'll all be good.
I actually heard that because it was originally written as a trilogy when the first one came out, but then it didn't do well enough in theater, so they didn't do the second one after that. But I have heard, and I don't know how true it is, that the original Independence Day, the first Independence Day movie, was the sequel. As a script version, was already written, was really the sequel to Stargate. And when you watch it, kind of makes sense because the aliens were coming to destroy Earth because we killed Rob. So that was the reason why the aliens were coming to destroy the planet. And then when you see the characters like, Will Smith, that would have been Kurt Russell. And it would, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I did hear that when I saw the movie again after somebody told me that story. I was like, wow, I totally can see that now. Yeah. But so the writers basically just changed the sequel to.
Well, yeah, that was actually that was firsthand actually from Alexis Cruz. That Independence Day was actually the sequel to the original Stargate movie, and the thing is that Emmerich and Devlin wanted another fee for writing a script that they had already written, and MGM knew that they had written it, so they refused, and Devlin and Emmerich then took their script to, I believe it was Universal, and MGM showed them. They let go of Independence Day. So yeah, about the reimagining of it. I mean, I agree. It's positive. I mean, I'm glad to see that it's continuing on. I mean, there's so many great stories to tell with the Stargate being the genesis of everything. So I think there's many more stories to tell. I just hope they do it right.
Hi guys, I'm Donna from Christchurch. My favourite episode is where Jack and teal'c are stuck in a time loop that nobody else is in. And when you find out that you've got the opportunity to do anything with no consequences. I just wonder how much fun that episode was to make, and if you guys had any input into the weird things that you got up to when there was no consequences.
Well, that's kind of that episode was the first time, that was kind of the alpha of our real bonding, because that was the first time that we had got to spend time with each other.
Exchanged a little DNA. Spiritual DNA.
Well, yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That makes 1,200 of us. So, it was a process kind of getting to know each other and getting to know each other's picadillos and all that. But I remember like it was yesterday, the first time you ever came to my trailer was to ask me if I could juggle during that episode, because that was kind of what really just started our bond as men.
Because you learned how to do it right there.
Well, no, I already knew how to juggle.
The man's a natural. I taught him like that. And that was Groundhog Day, wasn't it?
Yeah. You played golf in the.
Oh, that
embarkation room. Right in the middle of my backswing. Yeah. Remember the line?
Oh, no, but that was one of the potential for that shot was so great that I couldn't let it go until some other episode down the line. You just had this cutaway to some other Stargate on some other planet, another time zone altogether, and all of a sudden you see a golf ball, just nothing else around, just a golf ball landing.
But you also got to kiss Carter.
So? A lot.
Remember that episode, thank you.
Oh, I remember that one.
How's it going? I'm Andy from Christchurch.
Hey, Andy.
This is a question for Chris and Richard. What was your most favourite battle in the series?
My battle with psoriasis. I don't. Sorry. What battles did they have names? The battle against those little.
Oh, the replicators. The replicators?
Yes, that was cool. That was fun because we got to blow them apart, and you couldn't see them until later. So that wasn't my favorite. What
I mean, there were so many of them that, when you mean battles, do you mean against a species? Do you mean singular one-on-one battles? Do you mean...
More like against the system wars, like the Poppers and Ubers and all that.
I kind of liked the Orai, just because they had so many different, and it was a little darker than the System Lords. I mean, the System Lords were great and cool, but they were sort of cartoonish a little bit.
Little bit.
Well, yeah. Okay, a lot. So when the Orai came in, and it was a little bit darker tone. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed kind of that direction that we went.
What was your favorite?
Well, my one would have to be the Battle of Atlantis, when you guys first found the Antarctic platform.
Yeah, we made a spin-off with that. I hear. Right? Didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
I'm not sure if that was a statement from you or a question.
Kind of in between there, wasn't it?
Also, Chris, could you say indeed?
Indeed.
You just told me yesterday you were never going to say that again.
Well, no, there's a check waiting for me in the back.
Indeed.
So.
I'm going to go out and ask you a question. Go ahead, ask these guys.
So I'm Jeremy, I'm from Christchurch. So basically I want to thank all of you guys. Bring them back. Okay. My name is Jeremy, I'm from Christchurch. I just want to thank all of you guys for such a great amount of entertainment that you've provided over the many years that the show was running. My question to you guys is, with being professional together for so long, do you guys actually associate outside of work as well? Like now continued now that the show's ended?
First of all, did you say being professional together?
Well, you know.
I don't belong in that conversation.
I was going to say, that's the first time I've ever heard professional used with us. You know, after the show, you know, kind of life took over. You know, we're all dads, you know, and for some mothers, for some of us both. So yeah, I mean, you go back to your life. So for us, you know, this is not only meeting the fans and having a great time that way, it's also a chance for us all to catch up, because we really don't see each other outside of, you know, we tried for years, but then it's just time and distance, you know, that you live in Texas, you know.
Yeah.
Rick actually just lives right up the hill from me, so I don't know why we don't see each other. I used to see Browder all the time, because our kids went to school together. But now that our kids are in college, I don't see Browder anymore. So it's just kind of that, you know, kind of just time and distance, you know. So this is just as nice for us to be able to see each other and to reminisce and to do all that stuff.
Sit up straight. Sit up straight.
We now throw live to our roving reporter, Rick Anderson, out in the crowd. Rick, who are you with?
So I'm up here with a man who looks like, what's your name?
Jamie?
You look just like him. Do you have a question for any one of our stars down there?
I think my mum does.
All right, we're up here with Jamie's mom. Mom, do you have a question?
They learn to pass the buck. I don't know. I just actually want to thank everyone. I've had a ball of a time, and I've grew up with Guyver and then on to Stargate. So thanks, guys. It's been wonderful.
That's a good question. Well, that was a good question, which we all appreciate. Anybody in these rows have a legitimate... You do? No, I don't want to talk to you. Although you got a cool-looking kid, so maybe I will come down here and ask you. Do you have a question?
What was your favourite spin-off from the original Stargate? Was it Atlantis or Universe?
Boys, hands down, mine's Universe.
Yeah, I like the feel and vibe of the universe.
I think my favorite spin-off was probably Battlestar. They were a spin-off of us, right? No?
Battlestar Galactica?
Weren't they? No?
Good answer, you guys. Any more questions in this general vicinity, and then we'll throw it back down to the... What? Who? It's Mimo.
Hi, I was just wondering, when you did the shows, did they just hand you a gun and say, point and shoot that, or did you have to do any training?
It's actually a good question. Finally. Kidding, all of you. Well, we did. We had to be trained, some of us had to be trained properly, just because there are some dangers to handling all our, well, except for the plastic ones, all the ones that were real. And they actually worked and functioned and everything, but we never shoot real bullets through it all. But still, there's a proper way to carry things, and you got to look like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. So you have to take the instruction properly. And we had a great arms guy that would bring us all these great toys. I don't mean that literally, but these things to play with on set. And it was important that we got the proper training. You guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
You and that stick.
And that stick. Yeah, some of our most fun days is when we actually had armor training. And one of my most vivid memories, they had brought out a 50 cal, which is, you know, the 50 caliber, big, huge. And seeing Rick and the enjoyment that he had on that 50 cal is still one of my most vivid memories of the show.
Broke my thumb on that thing. You know what a 50 cal is? 50. What is it? Smarty pants. It's a big ass gun.
Did you really break your thumb?
I did. Well, not broke it. I dislocated it, and then it got torn to shreds, and we had to use a Band-Aid. So I asked one with Superman on it, which they covered up with flesh-colored ones. I'm back. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jess, Jeremy's daughter from Christchurch, and I was wondering if I could get a hug. Aww.
Probably not right now. Only because if you want one,
Everybody wants one.
should have been like sneakier about that. Like handing us a note or no, I'm kidding. But at some point along the way, I'm sure these guys will be happy to hug you. It just wreaks havoc when you start stuff like that. Is it your birthday? No. Oh, too bad.
See, you should have said yes.
I'm giving you all
an in. That was Rick giving you an in.
All you had to do was lie. We'll get to it later, all right? Wait a minute, how old are you? 16!
Is it your birthday? There's a gift, she said no!
When did you turn 16? Today! Happy birthday! Everybody!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
We don't know her name. Happy birthday to you.
You know when you run for president, that's gonna come back to haunt you.
Anybody can run for president these days. It's a,
Oh, let's not get started on that. Wait, is that a black guy getting punched up there? Oh, wow, that translated.
It was in English.
Hi, my name's Scott and I'm from Christchurch, and I was wondering if you can give us a bit of teal'c.
I think I've given all the teal'c I've got to give. Well, there wasn't a whole lot to teal'c. I mean, there was that.
Except when you got that new hairdo, that new jazzy hairdo. That was,
but what did you speak?
He's got a ponytail in the front. Let's talk to it for a second.
Just. I will never forgive you.
I didn't know it did that.
For allowing me to have that blonde soul patch. I will never forgive you for that.
Forgive me?
Yeah, for allowing me to make myself look ridiculous.
You did a good job, sir. I didn't want to stand in the way of creativity.
Well, you know, there wasn't a whole lot to, like, seriously, I mean, pretty much what you have right here. Thank you, O'Neill. Indeed, Jonas Quinn.
What?
No, that's seriously, that's it. He's thinking that could have been me. If that's all there is to it, that could have been me.
This is designed for all the short people. Yeah. Solid. I'll just carry on. I might be cheeky. I'm John from Christchurch. I'll ask Corin, on stage, well, on set and off set, so character as Jonas and personally, did you have any animosity towards Shanks? In the sense of, no, you kind of had to replace him and then you got replaced by him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't have any, I mean, none of that really had anything had any effect on my you know, feelings towards him or anybody else. I mean, the nature of the business, it's you gotta have, you know, a what would you how would you put it?
Thick skin.
Thick skin. There you go. I mean, you know, because anything, you know, yes. I mean, of course, I was bummed about it. You know, coming in and then going back out of the show in 7, and I was sure, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's just the nature of the beast. You can't cry over spilt milk. But so I never had any issues with Shanks or anybody else.
And a bit of an extension to that, Chris, you were still a main character at the time. Unfortunately, Richard, you had kind of set part. The slow transformation from Stargate to Farscape, by adding main characters from Farscape. Let's just give them the near enough lead roles to replace, you know. You were sort of became general and they'd kind of half written you out.
Yeah, I quit the show.
Yeah, but
it behooved them to write me out.
Yeah, but this is why the question really went to Chris, who was still an active character when they brought in Black and Bowden, and sort of.
Oh, Claudia Black. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know where he was going with that. So what was the question?
Well, the slow transformation from let's just start bringing in all the leftovers from Farscape and just dropping them in your show.
That's the way we look, Black Daddy.
That was the show that shot on the same lot, Farscape.
No, Farscape did not. Farscape shot in New Zealand.
Oh,
was it Australia? Was it Australia? No, yeah, Farscape shot down under.
Still, I gotta figure. Maybe it was Firefly. Never mind.
Firefly didn't shoot on a lot either.
There was another sci-fi show that was shooting the same time.
Are you sure they weren't shooting other scenes from Stargate?
That's very possible.
You know, that is a good question. You know, those were the drug haze years.
They shot Bird on a Wire there. Mel Gibson?
Mel Gibson, yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know that I was in that movie?
I didn't know you were in MacGyver, for God's sake.
You barely knew I was in Stargate.
Hello. Before I have a question for you guys, I just want to ask one question to the audience. This is Christopher's second time here. He was here in 2008 before the earthquakes. Can I get a show of hands in the audience? Who was here then to see him in 2008? Welcome back, Chris. We love you. Yeah, a couple of questions. One Stargate question for all of you and one for Chris for Rage of Angels. Is it ever going to happen? Can you tell us about that? And my second question for all of you guys, which is a Stargate question, and I asked this question on behalf of a friend of mine who is a firearm enthusiast. He would always be driven crazy by the fact that you guys would go out there with a P90 and one magazine. It's like you've got these tactical vests with utility pouches, and where are the magazines? And then you get into a gun battle with the Jafar, and how much ammo are you going to shoot, you know? So that's the question. Did that ever, did that drive you guys crazy as actors, or as actors are you just like, oh, I just do what I'm told, you know? Take the gun, point and shoot.
Big battles, but we never have extra ammunition.
No. No, you got to take a little license here and there. But I don't know about you, but I carried stuff. There was, I mean, not as much as we shot, of course, but it's like if you count the amount of shots that are taken in any movie, any TV show, if you really keep close count, I mean, it's all baloney. I mean, like they've got endless, like a magazine that's about 10 feet long as they run through the alleys and shoot. But you take a little license when you're, you know, I mean, it's okay when you're shooting monsters. What are they? Aliens. I don't know. It didn't bother me at all. No, but it's a great question. I do appreciate that because it tells me you're awake.
We actually addressed that where they started to, for a time, having us do mag changes on camera. But then it was just so much needless stuff to shoot that we just stopped doing it. You know, literally just put a stop in whatever was going on. In order to change magazines.
It added an element of action if you could like run and change a mag at the same time. It was always cool to see that happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you were pretty much the only one that could do it.
Well, yeah, once. It's the type of thing that you would do off camera. Like, where'd we go to the bathroom? You know, like, do you ever see us going to the toy? That's what it's called in the Air Force.
Yeah, I see in movies all the time. Also, like when nobody eats, like there'll be, you know what I mean? It's like it'll be a week, and you know that's happened, the transition, and then nobody's eaten or had a drink of anything. So yeah, they just don't. There's a lot of times where you just don't deal with regular stuff because there's no time. Or maybe people think it's boring.
And is Rage of Angels going to happen, Chris?
You know, we developed it at Stars for over a year. How do I put this gracefully? It was, no, actually we were on the schedule, and then Liberty Communications, who actually owns Stars, who had brought in Chris Albrecht from HBO. Albrecht was telling us make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger, and when we did that, the ways that we made it bigger, Liberty Communications didn't appreciate what we did. So they put it in turnaround, and last I heard it got sold again. I don't even know to who, I just cashed the check. So it's still, but I've kind of, you know, something I gave birth to a long time ago, and I've sent it out to the universe to fly.
whatever it's going to be,
Free.
it's going to be, you know, because I've kind of moved on from it.
Thanks, guys.
A youngin.
Hi, my name is Sam. I was wondering if I could get a high five.
Is it your birthday?
Yes.
There's a wise man.
Hi.
Hi.
Kind of a random question. The first time you guys came to New Zealand, when somebody was like, "Oh, you guys want to come to New Zealand?" Were you like, "What is this country?" I was in the States last year, and everyone was like, "Don't you guys wear flat skirts and like run around?" Well, they thought we were Australia. So I'm just curious what your first thoughts were about New Zealand.
Good ones. I kind of studied geography a long time ago, so I knew where New Zealand was, and I knew it was a totally different country from Tasmania. No, I was excited to come down here, and I was well rewarded the last time I was here. Went up and saw Hobbit Land, which was kind of pretty. Yeah, it reminded me of my old neighborhood.
Hobbitown reminded you of your old neighborhood?
Yeah, the dirt. Mostly it was the dirt.
Well, you know, I have to admit that I was a product of the LA public school system. So I thought that New Zealand and Australia were literally like across the street from each other. I didn't know that there was such a vast difference between the two, and it was great to discover that there is just such a difference between New Zealand and Australia, and just the wonderful people you have down here. And, yeah,
We're better than Australia, right?
Far more modest.
I was familiar with what New Zealand was, where it was, and what it was like in terms of just having watched some nature shows and things. But I was mostly excited just because it's a place that I likely didn't imagine probably going to in my lifetime. And the distance is quite extraordinary. But I love to travel. Travel is a really big, important part of my life. Like maintaining some type of travel and adventure, and coming down here, this is just fantastic. And I'm very happy to be in Christchurch and see how everybody has gotten along after the quake. Being in LA, I was in LA when the Northridge one happened that we had, that was, I guess, similar in magnitude and whatnot. And it was bigger in magnitude. It was like a 7-something.
7.2.
Yeah, that was it. But so I do understand, and it's great to see that the city is just coming back to life and the revitalization, and it's it's very exciting. So I'm really happy to get to be here.
You guys happy that the Crown is picking up the bill for this? Yeah? How do you feel about insurance companies? Yeah, I kind of get that everywhere.
Hi, my name is Jade, and this one's for all of you. I was just wondering if you could go back in time to when you're filming the show, if you could play through any storyline or any event for your character, what would that be? That you maybe never got to do?
The rest of season 7?
For me, I started writing my own episodes, so I pretty much got to do every damn thing I wanted to do. I really can't say there's something else I wanted to do. Maybe just see what the resolution and Dakar was, to see what eventually happened to the Jaffa Nation.
But yeah, other than that, I pretty much got to do everything I wanted to do until.
Year 9 and 10, I think. So I left after the 8th year, right? I was there for 8 years, and then, I had to go take care of my daughter. She's such a pain. No, I left for that reason, was to go be a part of my daughter's life in Los Angeles, and so I lost the last 2 seasons that it was on. Ben Browder from your favorite show, apparently, wasn't he from Farscape? Fire Escape. So I missed out on the last 2 years, which I would love to have been a part of.
Anything you want to say about Sam Carter with regards to that question? Or?
She's hot.
And sorry, just one more for Corin. When you came back to the episode in season 7, was that like your idea or the?
It's just how it was at the time. I think I had worked on some other project, and I don't know. It was, once they gave me the wardrobe for that was kind of funny anyway. And then when I looked at the wardrobe and I looked at my hair, I was like, it kind of works. And then I looked at my co-star and I was like, we're twins. We had the exact same hairdo.
That's when you and Homegirl had the same haircut.
We had the same exact haircut. I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, I was like, what the hell? Maybe it wasn't such a good choice. So I guess if I could go back in time, I would just go back and say, let's just shave it again. It's just...
Hair really means a lot to the fans, doesn't it? It does.
Soul patch.
Oh, that's what I would change. I would never have had that soul patch.
Fair enough.
Nobody's gonna say, "Oh no, you shouldn't." It was great.
I keep waiting for like a lifeboat to come. Just give me some support, like, well, it was interesting, or I kind of liked it, or that's a hint. That's leading. Nothing. It sucked. Everyone hated it.
Where would teal'c ever get the idea to grow something like that? Where would he get that idea? It was an urban...
His alien, his
LA thing.
We established that teal'c was a voracious TV watcher. So with all the...
What show did he see that warranted a soul patch? Blonde. No.
An episode of Scooby-Doo?
American Idol?
Thank you.
Oh, this is the last one.
I just had a question for Richard. You mentioned you didn't know that Christopher was in MacGyver, so you don't remember him from the episode when he was starring with you?
It's a sword subject.
Okay. So you weren't friends back then?
No,
were we friends? He was MacGyver. He was Richard Dean Anderson. I was a 20-something-year-old black dude trying to get a job. How would we have been friends?
We were like that.
I remember in the episode you chuck him over your shoulder using physics. Did you do that for real in the episode?
I don't remember if I had my bad back by then.
Yeah, you actually did it.
Really?
You actually did it, yeah.
Do you think you could do it today?
Bugger off.
You know how many zeros would have to be on that check?
I could do it, but never walk again. All right, I just want to say before this day is over that I could probably speak for both these guys that I really like your country. It's it's great. This is the second time I've been here, and so far, there's so much more to see. I intend to keep coming back and exploring what can be, and God bless all how do you say it? Christchurchians. Canterburyans? Canterbury folks. Well, bless the town and everything everybody's doing to build it up again and make it what it was and more. Because what I sense about your town is just, it's a special place, and we'll do what we can to help build it as well. So, got a hammer? Thank you.
Okay, Christchurch, one more. Show your appreciation for Rick, Chris, and Corin. Yeah, watch the floor, guys. Okay, so we're going to take a wee break now. David Nichols is going to do his panel tomorrow, not today. So they're going to play a little movie. Yeah, not me. 2 o'clock, Star Trek panel with the lovely, talented